It does smell amazing, I have to say. Oh, that's delicious. The pork is quite sweet and meaty. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Googie's Kitchen. And if you are new here, then hello and welcome. My name is Alexis, and in today's video I want to share with you how to make this delicious sweet and sticky pork chops with egg stir-fried vegetable rice. As I just mentioned, today I want to share with you how to make a really delicious pork and rice recipe. This recipe is so easy. It is slightly time consuming, I have to be honest, but the efforts are worth the results. This is a really tasty meal, and the last time I served this to my husband and son, my son actually went back for seconds, which is quite unheard of with some of my meals. So this is a great dish to serve to the whole family. It's packed with flavour and protein, and it's got loads of vegetables in it for fibre as well. So for this recipe, the first thing I did was I preheated my oven to 200 degrees, and now I've grabbed myself a large mixing bowl, and to that I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of honey. So this may take a little while, and also while this is taking a little while, I just want to apologise for the lighting. It has gone suddenly dark on me. Winter is on the way, I think, sadly. I'm missing summer already. But yes, so I've had to turn the main light on, and the main lights in this kitchen aren't particularly brilliant, I have to say. So I'm sorry for any shadows that are currently in this video. You will have to bear with me. I probably should have filmed this earlier when it was a bit lighter, but I forgot, and so I'm doing it at dinner time in quite a rush as well. So I think that's about 2 tablespoons of honey there, and then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons, yeah I did take the thing off, of tomato ketchup. I'm using a tomato ketchup by Dr. Wills, but you can use any ketchup you like for this. This is a really healthy one. This isn't an advert for them, but this is a very healthy ketchup. This has no junk and no gunk in it, and it's got such good ingredients in it as well for a ketchup. And my son doesn't mind it in this as well. I used it last time. He normally isn't a great Dr. Wills fan, but I used it last time and he was fine with it. He didn't really know, so that's good. So I've just added 2 tablespoons of tamari as well. You can use soya sauce if you want to. Tamari is just a soya sauce that's fermented for slightly longer, and it's got no gluten in it. I have a slight gluten intolerance, so I always like to use tamari where I can. It's a great flavour enhancer for things as well. If you add it to boiled rice, it makes the boiled rice taste so nice. And then I'm going to add a teaspoon of garlic as well to this. So I'm just going to put the garlic in, and then to that I'm going to add a teaspoon of ground ginger as well, and I'm going to grab some salt and pepper in a moment too. I'm just going to mix those in. So I've grabbed my salt and my pepper. So salt and pepper to your taste. You don't have to add it if you don't want to. We like a little bit of salt and pepper in this house, but we don't like too much. So just a couple of pinches of salt in there as well. And then, as I said, I'm just going to mix these ingredients together. I'm going to try and get all the sticky honey from the bottom of the bowl as well. And then I've got myself about 500 grams of pork chops here, and I'm just going to put those into the sauce that we've just made, and I'm going to mix those around like so until all of the sauce coats all of the pork chops. So these are pork loin chops, so they've got no bone in them, and I actually find that a bit easier than boned pork chops, I have to be honest. My husband and son are quite squeamish when it comes to bones in meat as well, so it's easier all round if we buy things like loin chops in this house, but you can use pork chops if you want to as well. While my oven is preheating, I'm going to pop these into the fridge, and once these have been in the fridge for about half an hour, I shall put them into the oven and then let them cook for about 25 to 30 minutes. And now I'm going to move on to making the stir-fry rice. My oven has preheated, so I've popped the pork chops into a baking tray. This is a Pampered Chef stoneware baking tray, so I don't need to oil this baking tray, but if you need to oil your baking tray, then please do. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop this into the oven for about 15 minutes, and then about halfway through I'm going to turn the pork chops over so they brown beautifully on both sides. While the pork chops are in the oven, I'm going to fry some vegetables that are going to go with the rice that I'm boiling at the moment. So the first thing I'm going to do for this is I'm going to put my pan onto a high heat on my hob, and then I'm going to add oil to the base of that pan, like so, and I'm just going to leave the pan to heat up. The pan is getting nice and hot, so what I've done is I have chopped one spring onion, so I removed the tops and the tails, so the top and the bottom from the spring onions, and then I just simply sliced it into about 1/2 centimetre pieces, and I'm going to pop these into my frying pan like so, and I'm going to fry these spring onions just until they start to soften. Spring onions have started to soften, so I have 1 carrot that I've peeled and just simply sliced into batons, and I'm going to pop that into my frying pan as well, and I'm just going to fry this for a couple of minutes. It's depending on how soft you like your carrots, will depend on how long you want to fry them for. I'm just going to turn the heat down a little bit on this as well because I don't want them to burn. So I'm just going to turn the heat down, and I'm just going to fry these for a couple of minutes. So I don't mind them crunchy. My husband and son aren't great fans of them crunchy. So I'm just going to leave them crunchy tonight though, because I have to go in a moment and flip the pork chops over. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove this from the heat. I'm going to wait for the rice to cook, and then I'll scramble some eggs. But first, I have to go and flip the pork chop. I'm just going to flip these over like so. I flipped the rest over a bit earlier, and I'm going to put these back into the oven for about another 10 minutes, and then I'll take them out and leave them to rest. The pork chops are done. The fat has gone a lovely golden brown colour and the juices are running clear. So as I said earlier, I'm going to take these out and I'm going to leave them to rest. While the pork chops are resting, I'm going to finish off the egg vegetable stir fry rice. So I've grabbed myself a large pan and I'm going to put this onto a high heat on my hob, and then I'm going to add oil to the base of that pan. So I'm just going to put oil in there, and I'm going to leave the pan to heat up. The pan is getting nice and hot, and I have scrambled 2 eggs. You can use 2 to 4 eggs for this recipe. And I'm going to pop those in the pan, and then I'm just going to scramble the egg. Once the egg is scrambled, I will throw in the rice. So the egg scrambled beautifully there, like so, and I'm going to chuck in the rice that I made earlier, and then I'll throw in the vegetables. I'm just going to mix the rice in first, and I might add a bit of tamari to this as well, just to give the rice a bit of flavour. So I'm going to turn the heat down slightly because I don't need it that high anymore. The eggs are cooked. So I just want to make sure everything is well mixed in. Just going to scrape the rest of that. Waste not one nut, as my grandmother used to say. And then, as I said, I'm going to add the vegetables in as well, like so. I'm going to mix everything together. I think I can turn the heat off now. And then I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of tamari, because as I said at the beginning of the video, tamari does make everything taste that little bit better, I'd have to say. Just a really great flavour enhancer. And then of course you can add salt and pepper to your taste. I added salt to the rice when I was boiling it, so I probably won't add that much salt. because the tamari is also quite salty, but I think I will add a little bit of pepper, and then I will serve up, and of course I will let you know how it tastes. But this kitchen smells so delicious right now. And there's the pepper going in to the rice. Yes, I'm off to serve up and try it. One thing I forgot to add, sorry, is the spinach. So I've just chopped up some spinach. In the original recipe, I said to use green beans, which I would have fried with the carrots, but I didn't have any green beans today. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of spinach in for the greens as well. As promised, I've plated up, and I'm just gonna try a bit of the pork with some of the rice. It does smell amazing, I have to say. Oh, that's delicious. The pork is quite sweet and meaty, and the stir-fried egg rice is lovely as well, so yes. I'm really looking forward to my dinner this evening. That's how you make this delicious pork and rice dish, and that recipe I will link in the description box below for you. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be having this for my dinner this evening, and it smells and tastes so good, I can't wait. So for now, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll be watching my next video.